Man, oh man, it's only Monday and it's already been a week. Hope you guys are all doing well. Enjoyed your weekends. Welcome back to more Call of Duty news here at Esports Talk. A few days back, we talked about Crimsix revealing a whole lot about Toronto Ultra. This following a podcast clip, which is not even tied to the organization. That's what provoked Crimsix to reveal a lot about the Toronto Ultra, and now Brack and the Ultra have also responded on this case. I will give you guys, a little bit of a preface until we know the full details. It seems that a lot of people out there are siding with Brack on the situation. If Toronto want to post a further update, because their first one, labeled "The Truth About Brack," did not go over well. If you guys did miss this, Crimsix prompting the initial response from Brack, where Brack does state, apparently he was not being paid at all, despite him visiting his grandpa during open heart surgery. He claims he was not being paid during that time. As he stated, "They aren't paying me, by the way. A full month's worth of salary, they aren't paying me because I was with my grandpa during a high-risk open heart surgery. Now I got to fight through challengers because an opportunity never opened up when I grinded Respawn S&D all year." But in Toronto's post about this that they called "The Truth About Brack," they actually say Brack came to us asking to return home to be with his family at a difficult time. We, of course, alleviated him from his team obligations to go home on compassionate leave. We want to be very clear that we continue to pay Brack his full salary as a compassionate leave, despite the fact that we had no contractual or legal obligation to do so that he could be with his loved ones without financial pressure to return to his job. And they do further state they eventually did stop paying Brack once they were indicated to that apparently he would not be returning. So, right away, based off Brack's initial response to the Crimsix thread and Toronto's post, we have conflicting stories there about that payment continuing or that payment not continuing. Even further in Toronto's post, they talk about not sufficient evidence of, medical issues. If you guys do not know, Brack went home for an open heart surgery of his grandfather and then fell ill as well. Apparently, Toronto requested him to produce substantial evidence of that medical condition, whether it be a doctor's note or other information. They claim he did not produce that, and that is what provoked Brack's response about this, which apparently detailed, a medical note amongst other things. As he stated, "After going home to see my grandpa, I contracted a staph infection in my nose, and my doctor told me explicitly not to travel back to Toronto. I gave Ultra the doctor's note seen below, no travel for 14 until follow-up with me within 24 hours of my diagnosis. But the org did not believe me and tried to force me to come back to Toronto in the middle of a global health pandemic in order to receive my salary. Toronto Ultra did not pay me despite providing a doctor's note from a licensed medical professional urging me not to return to Toronto." He then showcases the doctor's note. He further explains, "When I left Toronto to be with my grandpa during his open heart surgery, I've moved my furniture out. I lived up there with my girlfriend and my dog, and we had a lot of shared furniture and pet supplies in our apartment. There was only 1 month left in the season, and it was easy to move everything out with Taylor's help. Instead of coming back to Toronto and moving it all myself, I told Ultra about this ahead of time." So at first, when Toronto Ultra posted this, you think, okay, he had no plans to return, so maybe it's justifiable to cut that last month of salary because he had no plans to return and compete for your organization, until you look into the further details where it was quite obvious the starting lineup would not need Brack's services to actually join the starting lineup. He could still contribute to the team in other ways, which he was willing to do from home, all of his requirements from home as well. He also explains why he moved his stuff out, because he had the help and it would be easier then with only 1 month of the season left. So that's where it becomes debatable. It really depends what you guys think about this. As an organization, you cut a guy's pay seemingly for 1 month. With 1 month left in the season, he did not return. He was not needed in the starting lineup. He was also apparently very ill and was not allowed to travel at that time either, to which you were trying to force him to. Even further, he shows proof, supposedly we think that is proof, of a doctor's note where he should not be traveling, and you choose not to believe him. And it's all during a global pandemic, where are you even allowed to force a player to relocate and come back, or I should say to come back when he's not even needed to compete and he's willing to do all of those requirements from home instead? That's where it's a very bad look for an organization out there, especially because, throughout this whole process, we've seen other players out there congratulate owners who are not treating their players like this one. It's certainly debatable, but I will say by a wide array of eyes out there, a lot of people siding with Brack, given the evidence and explanation that he gave in his response and the lack of evidence or explanation in Toronto's post, of which they call "The Truth About Brack." at the end of the day, it's really up to what you guys think about this. I think Karma put it pretty well on top of everything else, kind of a cherry on top, saying, you know, with everything going on, he's all the more thankful to only deal with owners like Jason Lake for Complexity, Hastro from Envy, and of course a guy like Hex with Optic, and now the Huntsman. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy though, all right? Drink that water, drink that coffee. I'll catch you back here sometime soon.